Most people over 60 take bedtime for granted as just the final step of the day, a time to settle in, close their eyes, and drift off to sleep. But what you do in the last hour before lying down can either protect your heart or slowly push it toward danger without you even realizing it. And the shocking truth is that many seniors are unknowingly performing one or more habits at night that put extra strain on their cardiovascular system, disrupt normal blood pressure regulation, and interfere with the natural repair processes that occur during sleep. And while heart attacks or strokes are often thought of as sudden, unpredictable events, the reality is they usually have years of buildup caused by small daily choices, especially those related to evening routines. And if you've noticed that your heartbeat sometimes feels a little irregular before bed, or you get night sweats, or you wake up feeling unusually fatigued despite sleeping 7 to 8 hours, you might already be feeling the early signs of nighttime-related cardiovascular stress, yet most people don't connect these symptoms to their pre-bed behaviors. And one of the first mistakes is eating a large or heavy meal late at night because digestion demands significant blood flow to the stomach and intestines, pulling resources away from the heart's normal rest phase. And when you lie down immediately after such a meal, stomach acid can also reflux upward, triggering mild inflammation responses that raise nighttime heart rate, while simultaneously spiking blood sugar if the meal was carb-heavy, which forces your body to release insulin and other hormones at a time when it should be winding down. And the second major mistake is consuming alcohol before bed, even if it's just a glass of wine. Because while alcohol can make you feel relaxed, it actually disrupts your sleep architecture, especially the deep stages that your heart needs for repair, and it can cause dips and spikes in nighttime blood pressure that may lead to arrhythmias in those with already sensitive cardiovascular systems. And the third mistake, often overlooked, is scrolling on a phone, tablet, or watching emotionally intense TV right before bed. Because the blue light and emotional stimulation keep cortisol levels elevated, preventing the natural nighttime drop in blood pressure and heart rate, meaning your heart essentially works overtime even while you sleep. And over months and years this can translate into increased arterial stiffness and higher morning blood pressure readings. And then there's the issue of certain medications. Many seniors unknowingly take them at the wrong time of day, including decongestants, some over-the-counter pain relievers, or even specific supplements that can cause heart palpitations if consumed too close to bedtime, and the body is less able to metabolize stimulants or blood pressure altering substances efficiently during the night, so timing becomes crucial. And even habits like drinking large amounts of water before bed can be problematic because repeated bathroom trips interrupt deep sleep cycles, which are the very stages when your cardiovascular system experiences the most repair and recovery. And research shows that chronic sleep fragmentation is linked to increased plaque buildup in arteries. But perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all is going to bed angry or stressed, because emotional distress triggers the release of adrenaline and other stress hormones that keep your heart rate elevated for hours. And in some cases this has been directly linked to nighttime heart attacks in older adults. So the truth is that bedtime isn't just a passive waiting period before sleep. It's a critical window where small, intentional adjustments can dramatically improve or harm your heart health. And understanding exactly which habits to eliminate or replace can be the difference between waking up refreshed for years to come or slowly wearing down the very organ that keeps you alive. And in the next section we'll break down which of these habits cause the most silent damage, how they interact with age-related changes in the cardiovascular system, and which small nightly changes can instantly reduce your heart's workload and risk. As we continue exploring the critical habits that silently damage your heart before bedtime, it's important to understand that your cardiovascular system undergoes its own natural rhythm over 24 hours known as the circadian cycle, and during the night, especially in the early stages of sleep, your blood pressure and heart rate should drop significantly, sometimes by as much as 10 to 20%, allowing the heart to rest and repair itself after a day of carrying your body's vital functions. But when you engage in behaviors that keep your nervous system on high alert, such as checking stressful emails, watching intense or disturbing news programs, or even having heated conversations right before bed, your brain releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline which keep your heart in a state of constant alertness and your blood vessels constricted, raising blood pressure and heart rate when they should be lowering. And this chronic nighttime activation can lead to what doctors call non-dipping blood pressure, a condition strongly linked to higher risks of heart attack, stroke, and kidney damage in older adults. So it's not just about how you feel in the moment, but what these subtle physiological changes mean for your long-term health. Another major contributor to nighttime heart strain is the widespread habit of eating sugary or highly processed snacks before bed, especially those containing caffeine or hidden stimulants like certain energy bars, chocolate, or sodas, because these substances interfere with your ability to fall into restorative sleep phases and can cause your heart to race unpredictably during the night. And many seniors might not realize that the occasional cup of coffee or tea late in the afternoon can linger in your system for hours, exacerbating this effect, while nicotine from smoking or vaping, even if done hours earlier, has a prolonged impact on vascular function, narrowing blood vessels and increasing heart workload just when it should be relaxing. And this is why quitting smoking and reducing caffeine intake before mid-afternoon is especially critical for those over 60 wanting to protect their hearts. Furthermore, dehydration before bed is another often overlooked factor that increases blood viscosity, making it harder for the heart to pump blood effectively, which can lead to higher blood pressure and strain overnight. But paradoxically, drinking too much water immediately before sleep can interrupt rest through frequent urination, so finding the right balance is key. And experts recommend hydrating well earlier in the day while limiting fluids 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Medication management also plays a crucial role here because many older adults take drugs to control blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes, and taking them too late or inconsistently can cause blood levels of these medications to dip at night, reducing their protective effect during the hours when your heart needs it most. So consulting with your healthcare provider about the optimal timing can have a surprisingly large impact on nighttime heart health. One more important factor that many don't consider is sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, because this leads to sudden drops in blood oxygen levels, triggering the heart to work harder to compensate. And while it's often unrecognized, untreated sleep apnea dramatically increases the risk of heart attacks and arrhythmias in seniors. So if you snore loudly, wake gasping for air, or feel excessively tired during the day, a sleep study might be a life-saving recommendation. It's also vital to create a bedroom environment that supports heart health. This means keeping the room cool and dark, minimizing noise disruptions, and avoiding electronic devices that emit blue light, as these environmental factors influence your body's ability to enter the deep sleep stages crucial for cardiovascular repair. Developing a calming pre-sleep routine such as gentle stretching, meditation, or reading a book can lower heart rate and blood pressure naturally, preparing your heart for the rest it deserves. And remember, all these behaviors compound over time, so even if you've been neglecting your nighttime habits for years, it's never too late to start making positive changes because your heart is remarkably resilient and responds well to consistent care. By simply stopping the harmful pre-bed practices and introducing supportive rituals, you not only reduce your immediate risk of nighttime heart events but also improve your overall quality of life by waking up refreshed, with more energy to enjoy your days and nights fully. In the next part, we'll dive into practical step-by-step changes you can make tonight to transform your bedtime routine and shield your heart from silent damage, and why these small adjustments are often more powerful than medications or costly interventions. Making meaningful changes to protect your heart before bedtime doesn't have to be overwhelming or require drastic lifestyle overhauls. In fact, it often starts with small, manageable shifts that fit naturally into your evening routine but produce powerful results over time. First and foremost, establishing a consistent bedtime and wake time, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal clock and promotes healthier blood pressure patterns overnight because irregular sleep schedules confuse your body's natural rhythms, causing fluctuations in heart rate and hormone release that increase cardiovascular stress. Next, focusing on what you eat and drink in the hours leading up to sleep can be transformative. Avoid heavy meals, processed foods, and stimulants at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, and instead opt for light, nutrient-dense snacks if needed, such as a small handful of unsalted nuts, a piece of fruit, or a warm cup of herbal tea like chamomile or valerian root, which have calming properties. Additionally, managing stress through relaxation techniques is crucial. Practicing deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, or mindfulness meditation in the evening lowers cortisol levels, eases heart rate, and promotes a state of calm that prepares your cardiovascular system for restorative sleep. Limiting screen time in the last hour before bed is another vital step. The blue light emitted by smartphones, tablets, and TVs suppresses melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep and disrupting sleep quality. And since poor sleep is closely linked to hypertension and arrhythmias, reducing exposure supports your heart indirectly but significantly. For seniors who take medications that impact heart function, consulting your healthcare provider about the best timing can enhance effectiveness and reduce side effects. Some blood pressure drugs, for example, work better if taken in the evening, helping to lower nighttime blood pressure and protect against early morning heart attacks, which are more common in older adults. Creating a sleep-friendly environment is equally important. Keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet reduces sympathetic nervous system activity, allowing your heart rate to drop naturally. Investing in blackout curtains, white noise machines, or comfortable bedding can make a big difference. For those struggling with sleep apnea or other breathing disturbances at night, seeking diagnosis and treatment is life-saving because managing these conditions helps prevent repeated oxygen deprivation that forces the heart to pump harder and increases long-term damage risk. Staying physically active during the day, even with light walking or stretching, contributes to better cardiovascular health and improves nighttime blood pressure dipping, so incorporating gentle exercise into your daily routine supports your heart's nighttime recovery. Importantly, hydration must be balanced. Drink enough fluids throughout the day but taper off intake as bedtime approaches to avoid frequent nighttime awakenings that fragment sleep and prevent your heart from entering deep rest phases. If you're a smoker or use nicotine products, quitting is one of the most impactful steps you can take to protect your heart not just during the day but also at night, since nicotine causes vasoconstriction and elevates blood pressure long after use. Finally, cultivating positive emotional health through connection with loved ones, hobbies, or therapy reduces chronic stress and helps lower nighttime heart strain because emotional well-being directly influences autonomic nervous system balance. While some of these adjustments may seem small on their own, together they create a powerful foundation for heart protection, improving sleep quality, reducing arrhythmia risk, and enhancing overall vitality. And the great news is these changes are within reach for most seniors without needing expensive treatments or medications. You can start by choosing just 1 or 2 habits tonight, maybe turning off screens earlier or having a lighter dinner, and build from there as you notice improvements. Your heart, after all, is your most loyal companion, and treating it with gentle care each evening ensures it continues beating strong for all the years to come. In the next section, we'll wrap up with important reminders on why your nighttime habits matter more than you realize and how making these changes can open the door to better health and a more energized life after 60. As we bring this important conversation to a close, it's essential to remember that protecting your heart before bedtime is not about perfection but about progress and awareness because the small choices you make consistently create a powerful ripple effect that can transform your cardiovascular health over time, and even more importantly, your overall quality of life. Many seniors don't realize that the nighttime window is one of the most vulnerable yet most opportune moments for heart health. When you give your heart the chance to rest, recover, and rebuild, you reduce your risk of devastating events like heart attacks, strokes, and chronic heart failure, and you wake up feeling more energized, clear-headed, and ready to embrace the day's possibilities. If you've been guilty of any of the habits we discussed, whether it's late heavy meals, alcohol, screen time, or stress before bed, the good news is that change is possible right now, and even small adjustments can create big benefits. Take it step by step and listen to your body's responses as you tweak your routine. You might notice your sleep deepening, your resting heart rate lowering, or even your mood improving as your heart functions more efficiently and your nervous system calms. Remember that this journey is also about self-care and respect for the amazing organ that has carried you through every moment of your life. Don't hesitate to involve your healthcare provider in these changes, especially if you have existing heart conditions or take medications, because personalized guidance ensures you get the safest and most effective results. It's also worth sharing what you learn with family and friends. Sometimes the best way to motivate yourself is by supporting others on the same path, and building a community focused on heart-healthy habits makes staying consistent easier and more enjoyable. Lastly, keep in mind that protecting your heart before sleep is just one part of a bigger picture that includes regular physical activity, balanced nutrition, stress management, and mental wellness. And when these elements come together, they create a robust defense against age-related decline and open the door to vibrant, fulfilling years ahead. Thank you for committing this time to your health and well-being. By making these conscious changes, you are investing in a future where your heart beats strong, steady, and full of life, empowering you to enjoy all the joys and connections that make life truly meaningful. So tonight, start fresh, stop those harmful habits before bed, and embrace the simple but powerful routine that will protect your heart and extend your vitality well beyond your 60s. Here's to a healthier heart, deeper rest, and a life full of energy and happiness.